So this is EPIC. Who are they? Well, a group of 16 young disabled people from across England. EPIC stands for Equality, Participation, Influence and Change. And this is a name that the young people chose themselves to represent what they hope the group represents and what they hope the group achieves. It is specifically for the purpose of advising the Department for Education on the special educational needs and disabilities reforms within the Children and Families Bill. So it does have a very specific purpose in terms of that. And as I said, it's supported by the Council for Disabled Children, so that is why I'm here in my role. I think in terms of the young people that are involved, it's quite a diverse group in terms of geography, in terms of age, and in terms of kind of the experiences of the young people as well. So some of the young people have come to us and had absolutely no experience of being involved in a group like this before. Some young people are in education, some young people are kind of moving out of education and into transition and employment. But one of the things that sort of brings them all together is a really shared kind of understanding and ambition to change things for all young people. And in terms of EPIC as a group, as I said, it's a group of 16 young people and they have a specific purpose. It is part of a wider participation strategy. We established the group in October, and over the past 5 months, we've been working together to sort of establish the group and how they want to work together and what kind of decisions that they want to be involved in. But this is very much the starting point of a wider participation strategy, and I'll go on to talk about that a little bit more in a minute, but essentially what that's about is making sure that we can share and learn from the views of experiences of lots of different young people across the country, so it's not just 16 young people sort of representing the views for everyone, if you like. The reason I've put these two graphics on the slide, we had a recruitment process in October last year, and we worked with a graphic facilitator to kind of to help sort of visualise the process of what the purpose of the group was about. And the graphic on the left kind of shows what he created before we actually met with the young people. So this was our kind of vision, I guess, and ambition for the group. And the graphic on the left is from the open day, where we had 32 young people come to talk about the group and what they hoped it would achieve. And some of the key things that the young people came out with were that they wanted to be listened to, they wanted to be valued, and they wanted a shared action to kind of bring voices together. And it kind of matched really nicely, actually, with what we'd hoped that the group would be about before we'd even met the young people. So it was really nice to kind of have that shared understanding from the start, really. So the purpose of the group is to give feedback and advice on the development of the SEN reform programme, to highlight and help tackle the challenges involved in implementing many of the changes from the Children and Families Bill, to work with officials to ensure that the reforms reflect the real lives and experiences of disabled children and young people, and to represent the views of young people at the National Advisory Group. And we've done this over the past few months in various different ways. So we've had meetings with the young people to talk about their views and give them information about actually the reform process and what's going to happen for them, and really understand, you know, how that would impact on them and feed that back into the department. And they've attended various other meetings and events like this to kind of talk about their work and their experiences so far. And one of the things that we want to do going forward is look at how we can engage with other groups of young people, primarily through social media, but also face-to-face with other young people to sort of generate some discussion and debate around the issues in the bill, and make sure that when we are talking as EPIC to the department about the issues for disabled young people, that as many young people's voices are represented within that as possible. So we had a recruitment process, as I mentioned. We had 151 applications to the group, which was far exceeded our expectations, and we had to lock ourselves in a room for a whole day and sift through all of the applications and all of the video clips that young people sent us, and it was really fantastic to see how much sort of interest there was from young people in being involved in this way in a kind of quite a kind of dry sort of policy area, but young people really wanted to get involved. And we managed to shortlist that down to 32 young people, and we had an open day in October where we brought young people together. And the purpose of that day was really to, obviously, to inform them a bit more about what the expectations were, but to hear from them about what would they want a group like this to do for them. And really to kind of understand, well, how would groups of young people work together, how they could represent the views of other young people where they didn't necessarily have that experience themselves. And we managed to get down to 16 young people. Richard was obviously successful and has joined us. And that's the young people that we're working with so far. We've had 3 meetings. We started off with some social model for disability training because we really wanted that to be one of the core principles of the group about sort of reducing barriers to young people's involvement. And we've agreed the terms of reference to how EPIC will work. We've also spent a bit of time identifying with the group what the issues that are most important to them and to other disabled young people who haven't been on the group or haven't been involved in the process so far. We've taken part in discussions about some of the proposed changes in the Children and Families Bill, so specifically around the Education, Health and Care Plan, the post-16 provisions, the local offer, and some of the changes that are being suggested in the Code of Practice. And we've also worked with the young people around social media, so they designed the logo, they've been heavily involved in designing the look and feel of the website and advising us on how to best use social media to engage with other groups of young people as well. Okay, so one of the most exciting things so far that the young people have been involved in is interviewing the Minister for Children and Families, Edward Timpson, and we used this interview to launch the EPIC website on the 14th of February. And I just wanted to, so this is Katie and Rich, who are 2 of our members, and I just wanted to read out the quotes that they had given us about their experience of interviewing the Minister. So Katie said that it was a very exciting opportunity for her. The questions from the EPIC group covered many areas of education, and she was specifically interested in asking questions around the transition process, as that can be a really confusing time for young people. She thought the Minister's answers were very positive, and he seemed to highly value the need to include the voices of disabled children and young people in decision-making. And she hopes that we can gain the views of more young people in order to influence change for future generations. And Rich said that having the opportunity to meet the Minister so soon after the release of the Children and Families Bill gave him and Katie the chance to air some common concerns that they believe face all young people. They hope that the views have challenged some of the thought process and some of the decisions, and they were really pleased to know that EPIC had a direct route into the Department for Education. And I think those quotes really sum up the ethos of the group. You know, these young people really want to change things for all young people. It's not just about their personal views and experiences, it's about benefiting everyone else and making sure that other people are involved in that process as well. Okay, so as I mentioned, the past few months have really been about establishing the group, kind of getting everyone working together, getting everyone knowing each other and how we like to work together as a group, and also explaining some of the changes that are sort of being proposed in the Children and Families Bill that we're all aware of, but obviously with the young people's group, it's kind of new information to them, so we spent quite a lot of time on that. The next phase of EPIC is kind of wider engagement strategy. So this is really about making sure that we can involve as many groups of young people as possible. And one of the easiest ways to get involved is through the Facebook page. So we launched the website, as I said, and there's information. You can also follow us on Facebook. And we really want to promote this, so I really appreciate your help if you have young people who you think might be involved in this project, or if you know young people's groups that you think might be interested or are already doing work on the Children and Families Bill, then please promote EPIC's Facebook page and website to them. One of the things that we really want to do is make a space for young people who aren't directly involved in EPIC but might be doing some work around the Children and Families Bill in their local area, to be able to give them the space to tell everyone else what they're doing, and we'd make space to do that on the website. So it really is about two-way conversation and interacting with other groups, so I'd really appreciate your help in promoting that out widely. These are our contact details. So the website, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. I will be around today, but if you want to contact me, my email address and phone number are on there, and be really happy to answer any questions or have a conversation about how we can work with the groups of young people that you know.